Oh, I choose it.
Yeah. All right, that's good. Okay. The first question.
Yes, sure. The first question is one of the strategies that I have explored is different chess instruction. So the first question is from your experience, how do you approach the different abilities or learning styles in your classroom?
Okay. Usually this question is more applicable to Arus Perdana lah, lower, not the Form 6 students. Okay, when I was teaching Form 1 until Form 5, of course, in every class, we will have students from different abilities, right? So, in order to cater to all, we have to do need analysis first. Okay, need analysis means we have to have a look at which child needs more attention, which child needs, like that means can work on their own, right? Especially because this is language, some more TESOL, English is second language. For some of them, it is not even second language, it's the third language. Example for the Indians, Chinese, and even for Malays who speak dialect at home and then Bahasa Melayu and then English comes in, which is going to be very problematic, right? And then among them, we will have students who can speak English fluently. So, how we approach is that my approach is that, like in your class last time, I did young teachers approach, mentor mentee approach, where students, the fluent one, teaching first will be for everyone. After that, the fluent student or the one who can do it actively will be seated with the one passively, so that the passive ones will be able to get some ideas. After that, what I will do is that I will, after some time lah, when the weaker ones, when they get ideas, I'll put all the weaker ones in one group, so that that will give them the confidence. When you are seated with someone, let's say I can't speak the language well, and then I'm seated with people who are so fluent, I won't talk.
Oh,
I will only be very passive. So, how to make that kind of students to talk is put them among the same ability students. So, what will happen is that they have no choice but to talk. So, there are stages in that. That is where this differentiated teaching will come in. So, you have a lot of terms. So, you find out what is the term. Okay. But mostly, I love this young teachers method, where a student teaches another student. That's the approach that I mostly do.
oh, that's great, sir. So let's go with the second strategy there. Research is the culturally responsive teaching. This approach focuses on including students' cultural identities and backgrounds in the learning process to make more engaging and relevant. How do you incorporate students' cultural background into your teaching?
Okay, this comes when it comes to the materials, cultural background, because sometimes in your textbooks, especially like the Form 6 is never an issue because we can take our materials on our own. But when it is Form 1 until Form 5, most of the textbooks, they have the text will be about Western countries, very less about Malaysian. So what we will do, mostly I will adapt the text to see first. See first, my class is full of which race? Is it a majority Malays or is a mix of all? See how, and then they come from where? Do they come from rural area or are they familiar with the urban lifestyle? So if I have students who are familiar with urban lifestyle, I'll take some and then make them to explain more, give exposure more to the others. But it is basically, let's say, like when I was teaching in SMD, right? We had this indigenous group, Orang Asli group. So make the text more friendly to them. bring texts which are related to their knowledge, their culture, their social background, and then slowly introduce them to other social backgrounds. So, integration of materials and adaptation of other cultures' material is very important when we want to teach students from different backgrounds and social. And then social skill, of course, you put them in a team and then make them to interact, explain more, talk to them, let them free. So they will interact. But the language, of course, I'll make sure that it is the language that I'm teaching, the targeted language. I am the type that who don't cares whether you make mistakes. In fact, I encourage mistakes so that they learn from mistakes. Hmm.
Oh, that's wonderful, teacher. So at the end of the day, the student can at least learn, even if they make mistake, right?
Yeah, they learn because the more you keep on correcting their mistakes, even if they are reading, I will be selective in correcting their mistakes. Students will think that they are fluent in reading, but I call them and then I'll tell them, no, this is what I don't correct in class, except if I think I need to correct you in front of everyone, if you keep on repeating the same mistake. So, because you know why, that gives confidence to the student. My main in teaching is confidence. You know, right, Saifuddin?
Yes, yes. All right. So the last strategy is the collaborative learning, where students work together in groups to achieve academic goals. So, what are your thoughts on using group activities to promote social skills and teamwork in the classroom?
First of all, as I told you, the first thing that I would use is that bring out the confidence first. Every child is different. Some they feel low about themselves, so they don't collaborate much. They think that their ideas are not the best, so they wait for others to give ideas, collaborative, right? So what I do is that I want to see everyone's idea and I will tell them to point out whose idea is which. Let's say if they are doing writing, every sentence must belong to someone. So that really encourages collaborative, not one way work. That's
Thank you so much, Isyata, for sharing your insight and experience. But before we wrap up, is there any additional advice that you would like to give on implementing these strategies effectively in multicultural classroom?
advice from my experience now as Saifuddin. I meet students who come with lot of now this class that I'm having, Saifuddin, they went through a lot of bullies from teachers. They when they were in Form 5, teachers bullied them because they couldn't speak in English. So what I would advise is that accept students, because all of them, we are not we don't come from the same mold, we don't have the same background, we don't come with the same capabilities. So for teachers, young teachers, we must always look at children as individual and teach them slowly. Nowadays, you don't get everyone who are skilled in class. So differentiated approach is a very good technique where you have to work out on that.
Right.
So
Thank you
that's
so
what.
much.
Did I answer your questions? Or did you get answers?
Yeah, that's all. Thank you so much.
Okay, so this is for your assignment, is